saying you switch it, you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause I saw no risk. My bitch, you wanna be famous, huh? They act like they made us, huh? You know I'm icy in Vegas, huh? This for the that hate us, huh? I make a lot of new money, huh? When the not saving, you be liking my flavor, huh? I think it's cause ice on the wrist, on the wrist, on the wrist. Watch out, cuz I never switch, I never switch, I never switch, I never switch. Ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist.
Coach, it is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle. We just heard it, and that means it's time for football at CenturyLink Field. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Cincinnati Bengals. Here's Randy Bullock now to put toe to leather, and off we go from Seattle. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25. Yard line.
Hey, 280. 57 the mark. Hey, me and you all day. All day. I'm good.
This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Well, the Bengals and Seahawks meeting here in Week 1, and this is a combination that we haven't seen that often on the turf. If you look back to when the franchises began facing each other all the way back in 1977. But since then, just 20 meetings between the two teams. And the Bengals have won 11 of them, including the last meeting back in October of 2015. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 41-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 41.
Look. Good touch.
Throwing is Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already into field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here, too.
And just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have option. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Now, they told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, here on the road early, they got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Give them a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They go play action. Mariota. It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10.
Play.
Mariota now after the fumble recovery. And able to find Green. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Mixon trying to punch it in, and he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon taking it in as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Bullock good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down.
Check. Lucky.
Now it's Carson. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Geno Atkins got home that time.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Here's Wilson. Buying time to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Able to find a seam for 14 yards, but still now facing a 4th down after the scramble.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Mariota. He coughed it up, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf. His first NFL reception goes for 6 as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Myers connects on the PAT, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
On 3rd down, Mariota got his man. It's Eifert. And this will not get close to the 1st down marker as he's brought down at the 26. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. Taken in at the 22. 49-yard punt. 5 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Past the 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Chris Carson, 73 yards. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, Can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now Mariota, and the catch good. It's Eifert. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Watch the screen. Pass.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Looking to throw again on second down. Mariota into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. He is a difference maker at the linebacker position. He had a pick six last year, remember it. But it's different for those guys, isn't it, than a corner or a safety?
It certainly is, because sometimes they're pattern reading, seeing what the receivers are doing. Sometimes they're spot dropping, just getting to a place on the field and finding the quarterback and going to the ball. But remember this, these linebackers, at one time in their life, a lot of them are running backs. And they love having the ball back in their hands and making big moves towards the end zone.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's going to be like what we talked about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
Deep in there, right? Throwing on second down. Mariota complete to the right side. It's Eifert. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
It's easy work, and it's coming again.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5.
Let's go, defense. Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Come on. Smoke.
From the gun, Mariota. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, If you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. They go play action with Wilson. Flushed out right. He's going to fire one, corner of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He violated a big-time no-no in throwing that pick, rolling right, throwing across his body.
And you know that your dad taught you that in the backyard when you were
rush coming, and he's taken down. Michael Kendricks coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Here's Mariota. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Nick Vigil coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. They go play action now. Wilson eluding the pressure right. He'll find Metcalf. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Wilson being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
These type of plays are backbreakers for a defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so. He gets away, picks up a big...
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football, So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target.
Watch the motion. One. 57.
First down, Mariota. And that's complete. It's Green here. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Green last year had the lowest numbers of his career output-wise, 694 yards, 6 touchdowns. But, of course, there was a reason for that. He was battling a toe injury the second half of the season. And, boy, did the Bengals miss his presence. They limp. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougal. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on third and just a yard.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On third down, Carson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
380. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
On second down, it's Carson. And some space here. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Big Geno Atkins there to bring him down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And it's a fumble. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where you've talked about in all your preparation for the game, you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. So we are at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. And we'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this third quarter. The Bengals drive about to get going. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. A throw over the middle, taken in. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. John Ross, 75 yards. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Wilson. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Andrew Billings breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And instead, they want to throw it off play action. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. The Bengals drive about to get going. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Hey, check Mike 57, Mike 57.
Mariota. On the screen, Bernard. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Mariota. Got a man. It's Ross. Complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a 1st down. Mariota now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. This is Mixon on the draw. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Where are they, team? Hey, pick your game up.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mariota. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Michael Kendricks able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Working out of the gun, Mariota. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he'll take this to the 47, but no further, as they get him down well short of the line to gain. He felt the pressure coming there. That was a good job of just making something out of nothing, so to speak.
Yeah, took the hit and still made the play. You know, when we talk about runners, all right, and on running plays, runs after contact, we call that getting dirty yards, tough, gritty ones. To me, that's like the version of a dirty pass. He knows he's going to get smacked, yet still delivers the football and picks up good yardage.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you know, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think at any moment I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. William Jackson with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way,
blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 2nd down now, Mixon. And he'll get this one up to the 26. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
3rd and long here for Mariota. Going deep for Eifert. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Now it's Lockett. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this 3rd quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little.
Alert, alert, alert. 57. Mike, gun. Target. Bang, bang.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson flush to his right. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down.
Mike, check.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Forced out to his left. And that will be incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Bengals drive about to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On second down, Mixon, and he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
The quick throw now complete to Ross. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day.
On second and 12, Mariota dumps it out to Mixon. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21.
Yeah, baby.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Bengals on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Mike's 50, Charlie. Yo, Mike's 50, Mike's one. You're not ready. You're not ready.
From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. On first down, Carson. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Geno Atkins, the Pro Bowler, in there on the stop. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3. But now it's 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Throwing is Wilson. He's going to let this one go deep. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Tighten up. Pull together.
They'll start here with a give to Mixon. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Yeah, baby.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Go on. Hey, check. Mike 50, Mike 50. Exit. I'm about to take you to school.
Throwing, Mariota. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They get 17 on that one, move the chains, first down Seahawks. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Quick throw out to Gordon on the perimeter. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off near the 32. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it.
And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sack. The former number 1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now Mariota to Mixon on the check down. They'll give him a yard on the play, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. And the Bengals on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 17. To throw Mariota. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now Mariota on 4th down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bobby Wagner, the former 2nd rounder out of Utah State, with a sack. So now with a 2-minute warning coming up fast, that puts a mammoth dent in their comeback hopes.
I like how you phrased it. It's a dent because there's still opportunity. They've got to get the ball back on defense, obviously twice. But guess what? This thing is not close to being over. They need to go ahead and play it out.
Not over. As you said, 2-score game still. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Now a play fake here on first down. Flushed out right. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Andrew Billings picks up his second sack of the afternoon. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile.
Push him back. Watch the
Here's Wilson. And he's going to go down again. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Good job.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Escaping the pressure right. It's caught. Lockett. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves them well short for 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Mariota now to throw on first down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Mariota now. And he can't get away. Mariota goes down, and that is going to be a safety. Well, this defense has been smothering all game long. Why not give them 2 more points here in the closing minutes?
Well, they've certainly earned it. They've gotten the better of this offensive line for 4 quarters, and this sack here will just be a little icing on the cake.
Let's go, baby.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And barring mistakes, they should be able to kneel this one out and finish it off. And there's only 1 timeout remaining on the defensive side of the ball, so that doesn't really come into play either. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Check, 59. Here we go, G.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee.